but I still feel like it was better if I left
Is this
him.
the place where you stay with a friend?
Yeah.
At a friend's apartment?
Yeah, he's a drug dealer. He's a drug dealer. But he's nice. He's really nice.
Do you have to pay him?
No. And he buys food. He's really nice. He's the one that gave me the dog. Remember I told you that? He gave me Orion. And then he has his own dog. So, I mean, I don't know. I try not to judge people, you know. He's never done anything to me. He hasn't asked anything of me. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying, like, whatever. He's rarely there anyway, so it's kind of like ideal. But to be honest with you, the entire building's got like druggies and drug dealers. His neighbor's a drug dealer.
Where is it?
It's in the village. And then the apartment, the guy around the corner is a drug dealer, and the girl that's staying with him is a druggie. Like bad. Like when she talks to you, you can just tell. Like it's like I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I've ever met her sober. I don't know. Is she sober or is she not? Or is like the drugs left this imprint of her, or I don't know. Anyways, so and look at Oreo did.
Oh dear, he was playing?
Yeah, I was playing with him. We have this game we play where like try and, well, I mean, it's like, that's how dogs play. I try and make you submit, like wrestling. I just want I don't have a bank account because I got scammed, right? Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how, like, it's really difficult to just work on cash, you know?
But nobody took money out of a bank account.
What do you mean?
How were you scammed?
Oh, because, okay, the guy I got my dog from, he's a drug dealer, so he has a lot of connections in like other areas. Like he knows people that can get you into pretty much any club, you know, just things like that. He said, "Oh, I know a guy who works at the bank or whatever, who deals with banks, and he can help you with your account, so you're not like in the negative or whatever, or help you with some type of payment plan or whatever." He didn't really explain it to me, so the truth is, I gave him my card thinking that he's gonna help me, and he deposited a certified check for $5,000, withdrew that. He did 2 Western Union money orders, withdrew that. That was $950 each, because you know they only go up to $1,000. And then he did something I didn't even know about, but you can call an automated number, and you can report that you deposited whatever number and that you didn't see it in your account, and then they automatically deposit that money. Then they investigate to see if it's a true claim. But by that time, he's already withdrew it. $1,800. He said that he deposited that money and it did not show up into his account. They deposited into his account and he withdrew it. He would go to like CVS or Rite Aid, and he would do like, I guess buy like, he would grab like a handful of like little dollar candies or I don't know, and then you go up to a counter and say, "I want to purchase candy, withdraw 40. I want to purchase candy, withdraw 40. Like I don't know, it was 42 times like 5.
Someone did that.
Like what CVS employee is gonna let that happen? Of course I reported it. But yeah, he did money orders. These money orders had 2 different numbers at the bottom. They were fake, but they had 2 different numbers, so it's an operation. He had a certified check. It's all a certified fraud. Anyway, so the friend that, you know, I got my dog from them staying with, he's like, you know, actually I just have a name and a number. The same as me. Which are both like fake or disposable, right? And he was like, damn. And he's like, and I guess something they had been working on, he ended up screwing him over. So I guess out of guilt he took me in or something. I don't know. But that was that whole. But my point is, I've been trying to figure out like a way to get a card. I tried like the prepaid visas. I tried the prepaid visas, but the problem with those are you have to like sign up for an account, and they have to have your social, and there's like when it starts talking about percentage and like monthly fees, and you can't do it here, you can't do it there, and I was just like, I feel like this is gonna like end up biting me in the ass. Like they're gonna withdraw money, and it's just gonna be like, why'd you withdraw that? Well, it says right here, you know. And I didn't feel secure doing that. I'm gonna find a better spot and then I guess just tell the people that miss me or whatever, support me. I don't know what else to do. I don't want to like lose the connections I've made. It's not really about the money. It's about like connections. But
Where are these connections? Are they in
on that spot, the people that you see all the time, my regulars, if you will. I have regulars. I have a guy who gives me 20, a woman who gives me 10, and a woman who gives me 5. They give me that exact amount. It's like kind of funny, but yeah, it's true. And then one guy who always gives me $1. You know, it's just like regulars. I know that sounds like weird to say, but yeah. Anyway, so what I'm saying is like it's not impossible to build that community, but it's not guaranteed. So when you have it, it's kind of like try and keep it, you know. And then Salvation Army is right there, and I have a relationship with them, you know. They have no services for people with dogs, and I told them I don't want housing. I want a van. I have a goal. I know my goal. But then like I want an RV. I want a Class C RV. I already know what I want. Class C is like the mid-size, like the RVs that like the old like the Coachman or the famous yes, where it's like, you know, a comfortable living situation. They always have like an armchair, then they have the booth with the table, then they have like the kitchenette, and then they have like a bathroom. Right in the back's the bed.
We're interested in knowing a little bit more about your father, like where he lived, what his house was like, what kind of neighborhood he lives in.
I mean, as a child or when I was with him?
When you were with him.
Okay, that's easy.
How long did you stay with him?
So I only like lived with him for like 5 years, but when my parents got divorced, they lived in a couple houses, and when they got divorced, my father went to live in an extended stay motel, which is a common thing in Oklahoma because it was off of a major highway and a lot of truckers, and it was like, you know, kind of that setup. So there was a lot of hotels that offered that, and so he lived in that and just never left.
How old were you then when they got divorced?
Well, that's a good question. I was a baby. It's like, I think probably they weren't even together when she was pregnant with me. You know, and the thing about it is like my mother's, she's in denial about her own involvement in the destruction of her children's lives and her own life in that sense. Everything's my dad's fault. He beat her, he put her in the hospital. You know, she did drugs because of him. You know, she wasn't a good mother because of him, and it was all like, he brainwashed us. It's just like always everyone else's fault but her own. So, and then she was an apartment liver, meaning that like you know, we hopped from apartments to apartments, and my dad stayed in the exact same motel that he's been in for 20 years.
Is he still there?
No, not that one, because they kicked him out, or they told him you either pay what you owe or you leave, and he left.
And your mother?
As far as I know, she was in the apartments that I was living in with her when I was a kid by the highways.
She's still there?
I don't know. I haven't talked to her. Last night I talked to her when I was 21, which was like 7-8 years ago. So I don't know. A lot can happen in that time.
Do you have any interest in seeing her again?
I had a very odd communication with her like 2 years ago. It's like very freaky. I'm about to tell you something really freaky and disturbing. So this is when I was so the guy that I was dating at the time, you know, he let me live there, but his sister was very adamant about me not being there because of the landlord, this whole thing. She bitched all the time. We're gonna lose our apartment, blah, blah, blah. So eventually, like, he asked me to leave. But whatever, our relationship was like a disaster anyway. So then when he was like, oh, I can't give any more money, I have to start saving to get my own place. Anyways, our relationship died slowly. I wish it would have been faster. I wish he just would have told me, look, you're homeless, and I care about you, but like I kind of just don't want the burden of having, a homeless girlfriend, whatever. He just didn't have the balls to tell me. So he strung me along, making me think that he really cared, but he was like, looking back, it was like slowly distancing himself from me. Does that make sense? So I would see him twice a week, and then I would see him like once a week, and then I would see him once every other week, and then, I can't get in the morning, I have to save money for my place. Oh, hey, what's up, where are you? Oh, I'm at the bar with my coworkers. Oh, interesting. I thought you were saving money. How are you saving money if you're at the bar? Oh, they're paying. Oh, okay. So they paid last time. They paid this time. I guess they're going to pay next time? So these people are just paying for you to get, drunk? I don't understand. He's lying. He just didn't want to give me money anymore, which is his right, but just fucking tell me. So I was like, whatever, I'm done with you, whatever. He was holding my TV and my PlayStation, so I kept minimal contact with him. But I started begging on the street because, I had to provide for myself, and I'm not gonna demoralize myself or disrespect my body or like any of that things for money, because at the end of the day, money doesn't own me. I own money, you know what I'm saying? So I started banging on the street, and that was Court Street in downtown Brooklyn. I got kicked off Fulton Mall because their security is private property, but the courts are public property. So anyways, I did that for a while, and then one day, now when I talk to people, this is how I learned not to be too open. If I tell my name, I'm from Oklahoma, people are so fascinated with my story. So then, where's your mother? Blah, blah, blah. And a few people who I guess were super curious, like, what's your mom's name? Or I don't know, something like that. And I guess looking back, it was one of those people, which obviously I don't remember what they look like or what their name is. And I think maybe they felt like they were helping me by getting us back in contact. And so someone actually found her on Facebook, and she called me on my cell phone.
When was this?
This was like summer of 2017. Yeah, because that was like before I got the internship or whatever. So and it was just like, it was a very bizarre experience because I didn't ask for it. So somebody took a picture of me sitting on the ground begging from a distance and sent it to her.
So why did she call you?
She's traumatic, and she's always the victim. She's one of those people she's always the victim. So I need to have her in my life because she's had a heart attack, and her heart's not good, and this is putting strain on her heart, so she needs her daughter in her life so that, and it's just, yeah, like, literally she rambled about herself, gave me way too much information. Evidently she has to wear diapers now because of her weak bladder. I was just like, and I guess she I guess she told me she lives in a house, she has a roommate, like her best friend or whatever, and she's like, I have to take all these medications and these pills. Literally, she rambled about herself. Just like, it was hard because mentally I was just like, what is going on, right? Like, it's very bizarre. And I was like, wow, she has a picture of me. I didn't like that. I felt uncomfortable about that. And then, so then she's like, no, that's not my daughter. This was before I started talking to her, okay? What happened was somebody had sent that picture to her. They didn't have my number, okay? But they sent her a picture of her on her Facebook.
Where were you living then?
In the homeless shelter.
Where? Here in New York?
Yes, and Van Sicklen, which is Brooklyn. So I'm sorry, because this is before she got my number. I'm sorry. That's how it started. Was that she had a picture of me on her Facebook saying, this could be my daughter, whatever, blah blah blah. If anybody knows, she's just so dramatic. Yeah. And then she started saying stuff like, no, that can't be Lori, that can't be my daughter. She's like, this woman looks pregnant. And I was like, if she's pregnant, that's fine, I'll be there for the baby. And she's just like, she's so dramatic. No, I'm just fat. Like, I don't, like, where the fuck, what? She's like, I don't care if it's an alien, baby. Lori, please just come home. Please come home. I have an extra room for you. She's putting all this on Facebook. Oh my God, right? So I'm like, what is going on right now? Somehow she got my number. And then like, I was like, no, I had the guy, my ex-boyfriend, this is back when I was like, I guess, like, this is towards the end of us actually not talking at all. This was August. So that was when we stopped talking. But I was with him, happened to be with him, right? And I was like, you know, until I'm not here. He was like, I don't know who this is. You got the wrong number. I don't know a Lori. And she's like, so she called him several times, like, I guess not convinced. And then after a while, I guess she believed him. And so this person was communicating with her through an app that was like impossible for it to trace. And he was feeding her information about me, hoping that we would reconnect. Have you ever heard of some shit like that?
Probably.
Sticking his nose where it doesn't belong.
And then he told her that like he knew me, and that I stayed with him and his friend or something, and that and I'm like, the only person I stayed with was my boyfriend and his sister and her roommate, and I'm just like, I was so confused. I was so obsessed with trying to figure out who was this person. I mean, it was weird. It was just like very, I don't know. I didn't really think about it, but long story short, I did answer, and I ended up getting in contact with her, and